Okay, so give you an idea of over all these topics. So right from then SF overview, the complete overview that I have given you, and next we have been even discussing on the implementation methodologies, the deployment models, and the integration approaches. So these are the basic things that we got an idea at an overview level. Now, even now, I'll just take you through the same presentation that we have used. So let us get clarified with any other questions or the gaps that you have in understanding at this level. So after that, now I'll be taking you more into the success factors provisioning and the instance systems today. What actually is this basic suite of success factors? So as we have discussed previously in our sessions, in the intro on the demo, intro on the demo sessions, I've introduced you with all the modules that we have in the SuccessFactors HCM suite. What is this basic suite is called? So these are various modules, and these modules I've even told you that they are divided into 4 different categories, like the core HR solutions, the talent, and next coming up the analytics module, and the social collaboration, where definitely Employee Central and PMGM are the 2 best hotcake modules currently in the market, where we can see a lot of openings on these 2 modules. Okay, and that's the basic reason that we even opted these 2 modules within our training plan. And that's the basic reason of even highlighting these 2 modules in green color, just to say that these are the evergreen modules currently in the suite, in the basic suite. I'd even shown you this pictorial representation, which says for any of the modules, Employee Central is the base. Employee Central will be acting as a core of the complete SuccessFactors suite, and with respect to the data that the other modules will be required, it is Employee Central that will be sending the data to the other modules. And we also had a discussion on the implementation methodologies. So guys, basically, because we have already gone through this, I actually am not interested in wasting your time with the same basic demo slides. So just to give you a recap of the things, I'm taking you slowly through the slides. But if someone really has a question, can definitely stop me and clarify the questions. So we are also discussed the implementation methodologies, the basics and the activate. The basics is the old one that we have discussed, which has been replaced by one more new methodology of implementation, that is the SAP Activate, just around 9 to 12 months ago. So this is the current methodology of implementation, the SAP Activate methodology, we say, with all these prepare, explore, realize, and the deploy phases. And as I've told you previously, when compared to the legacy HCM, because there are few people, I'm just using that word, who are of a legacy HCM background. Previously, in any project, we used to have some requirement gathering, and we generally used to fill some blueprint documents. We used to prepare a blueprint document based on all the requirements of the customer, and we used to get the sign off and go ahead with the configuration. But here in this SAP Activate methodology of this cloud approach on the SuccessFactors, the prepare phase, the very first phase, we do the requirement gathering here also, but here we come up with one more different workbook. This is technically called as a workbook, guys. This is a place where we actually capture various requirements from the customers. So this is just this is just a sample of one workbook of Employee Central module, which deals with the various inputs that we have to gather from the customers with respect to the legal entities. Legal entities are nothing but the companies. Next, various business units, divisions, departments. So all these are the various sheets. Each sheet will be containing the config options related to each of these objects. And end of the sheet, we also have a place to collect the master data. What are all the list of departments or the list of the divisions, business units, cost centers, etc. of that customer for which you are going to do the requirement gathering. So the first part deals with some technical attributes of these objects, which we'll be seeing in the configuration level, and the next part deals with the list of values that we can capture. So I'm just giving you an idea of how this workbook will be looking like. This is a replacement to your legacy blueprints, where we used to prepare some word-based documents to completely project what is the customer requirements and all. So that are now replaced with this standard SuccessFactors generated Excel sheets, which are nothing but the workbooks. Okay, it's not that all these content will be created by us. It's the standard. These are the standard documents downloaded from SuccessFactors websites, and only some of the columns here will be required. Will be requiring our input, guys. So all these white color sections, white color boxes will be required our input. I mean the customer input, but the yellow colored things are something that will be or which need not be edited at all. All those comes as a standard. So when we are going deep into the Employee Central level discussion, I'll definitely introduce you with what are the available workbooks and how we handle them. So just to give you an idea, this is nothing but the place where we capture the customer's requirements. And as I've already told you, we have the other phases like realize, deploy and all, where you do the actual configuration, testing and the production migration. A very important thing to discuss and remember is the way how we implement the SuccessFactors project under this realize phase. The basic thing is it's not we keep on configuring for the entire duration of the project time that has been allocated, and then go to the customer all of a sudden at the last moment with any surprises. We divide the complete realize time into 3 different parts, and after various intervals, that is each and every 3 intervals, we go to the customer, we take them to the complete walkthrough of the system, whatever we have configured till that point, and we collect the feedback from them, and accordingly we make the required changes and we'll align the product to meet the customer requirement. So these are nothing but technically we have to call them and call all these as iterations, guys. We can either call as sprint or iteration, and this we call as the walkthrough or the demo. Iteration. So we generally call as the standard SuccessFactors recommends to have minimum of 3 iterations, and later on based on the scale of implementation, if it's a large implementation with multinational implementation with almost all the modules in the SuccessFactors suite, which would require a lot of testing and various localized scenarios in particular countries and all, where you would need more testing, then we can also increase this count of number of iterations that we can have. So this is all about the realize phase and the implementation methodology of SuccessFactors. And I had even shown you how a project plan will be looking like. This is a sample of a project plan that any organization can be proposing to a customer. This is just a very basic one. It's just prepared on an Excel sheet, and I'm just projecting in front of you. So this is a typical example what any organization will be proposing for the customers, where all the 4 phases, right from prepare and explore, which is a requirement gathering phase, and later the realize phase of 3 iterations and the demonstrations, followed by we also have the UAT phase, where we have dedicated 2 weeks for that in this plan, and the last week for the production migration and the announcement of go live. So this way we generally have the project plan prepared, meeting the SAP Activate methodology. So this is the basic things with respect to what is SuccessFactors, what it has in store actually, and as a consultants how we implement the project, what are the different stages in the project and all this. And before all this, whenever customer is trying to start implementing the SuccessFactors, whenever they have a agreement done with the SuccessFactors, whenever they buy the product or the sale licenses and all, the first thing that they have to decide is the model in which they want to implement the product. Okay, so there might be few customers who would go with a complete suite of SuccessFactors. By completely scrapping their existing system, they can completely migrate into the SuccessFactors. And some people just come to the SuccessFactors only for the talent solutions, where they are not interested in disturbing their on-premise system. they still want to use the SAP HCM or the legacy Workday or PeopleSoft or anything, and only for the talent solutions like PMGM, compensation, or the LMS systems for the training and event management, all these things, they might come into the SuccessFactors suite. So that kind of model, we generally call it as talent hybrid. The first one that we have discussed, complete migration into cloud, will be full cloud. And a typical model where we generally see only in few cases in the market is called the side-by-side HCM model, where some organizations running both the legacy HCM tool and also the SuccessFactors. Guys, whenever I use legacy, it's not only the HCM, that might be other system like PeopleSoft or whatever that they are already using in their organization. So without scrapping any of the existing configuration, using all the legacy system and also getting implemented with the new system and targeting it for only some set of people, some set of locations or some sort of subsidiaries of that parent organization. This process is nothing but SAP's side-by-side HCM deployment model. Okay, so I had even given a better picture on the previous demo session on this as well. Hope everyone is clear on this. And yeah, we already know the certification detail. We will not speak more on this. Let me take you through something more important. During the end of the sessions, that might be the demo or the introductory sessions, we are also give you an idea of the integration options that we have actually. So yes, the basic thing that we have to at least know what is the various possibilities of integration is all this, like we generally concentrate on these three options that are present here. That might be through the NetViewer API, the NetViewer PI, and the HANA Cloud integration and the Delboomi, guys. Most of the implementations that are currently in the market are actually implemented on Delboomi. Okay, but from the recent past, around 6 months to 8 months like that, it's a booming era for HANA Cloud integration, where even SAP has started recommending HANA Cloud integration instead of Delboomi, where we call it as HCI, guys. So now HCI is the most opted integration approach when it comes to SuccessFactors with any other tools that might be the legacy tools like SAP HCM or PeopleSoft Workday, or even other cloud-based solutions. It's not that only with the on-premise. SuccessFactors can also be integrated with any other cloud-based solutions in the market. So to specifically give you an idea about the cloud integration, or the HANA Cloud integration, see, we can see this pictorial representation says that we can use this HCI to integrate SuccessFactors with on-premise SAP solution or any other third-party on-premise solutions other than SAP, and along with some other cloud solutions. Okay, and basically the most important thing that you have to look over is the pre-packaged iFlows, the pre-packaged integrations with the iFlows that the HCI comes up with. So more in detail on this integration will be completely related to the integration part. So the basic idea is to give you an high-level idea of how the integrations approaches will be existing in the SuccessFactors suite, guys. So what are the middlewares that we can use and all. So the basic intention is to share you the high-level idea on this. And yes, definitely HCI is the one that SuccessFactors is currently recommending all the new customers onboarding to use for their internal integrations with other systems. So this is till here we have already seen once in the demo sessions, guys. So before I jump into something new from this session, can I have any questions? Is anyone having anything to be clarified here? Intro to Mastery, whatever topics that we have to cover under the category of Intro to Mastery, we will be starting today. Waste your time with again repeating the same in introductions parts, guys. Just I'm giving a recap for few minutes. So now slowly we'll even jump into that. It's actually, we have a separate consultant called integration consultants in the project. We generally have one separate consultant nominated for the integrations, where there will be some people who will be certified by basically on this HCI or the Dell Boomi tools, and they will be taken into the project, and they will be working in parallelly with the EC consultants, and the counterpart there can be some SAP consultant also, where these three people will be working on this integration approaches. Yeah, so before going into the intro to mastery, just I'm left with one more thing to introduce all of you guys. Once you are done with the training and you have got certified and you have to start working on the projects, the regular important sites that you will be accessing it for working on the SuccessFactors are these three important sites. So one is called the SAP Partner Edge, where this is a place where you can get access to various SuccessFactors documentation, the standard implementation guides, administrator guides, and the project kickoff templates. And the last but not least, the very important thing is the workbooks. Every time you go for an implementation to a customer, it is recommended to download the latest workbook from the Partner Edge and fill that workbook in front of the customer. So all these are the documents that the various set of documentations that you can get from SAP Partner Edge, and this will be logged in. You can log into this with the SUser ID credentials that you will be receiving once you are certified, guys. So with that you can access the Partner Edge. And customer community is one place where yes, both the customers and also we as a consultants with our SUser ID, we can also log in into this. But the primary purpose of this portal is for the customers to have a view of various documentations, any product brochures and all. Okay, and the basic reason of introducing this to the consultants is whenever a customer comes up with a new scenario or a new requirement or the functionality which is not currently available in the SuccessFactors product design, then we can ask our customers to raise an enhancement request in the customer community. Okay, so mostly the customers will not be like familiar with how to use this customer community, where to raise the request and all. But yes, we as a consultants can be definitely helping them in doing that activity of raising the enhancement request with respect to whatever new functionality they are expecting. So that will be helpful to the customers as well. And we as a consultants also, we can find some product documentations apart from the Partner Edge documentations. So few more articles we can find from the customer community, where we can also see from various discussion boards happening based on the capabilities or any limitations of the product that the customers from various parts of the globe will be discussing and all. So that is one called the customer community. And the last is, most of you might be already aware, like the people who are already into SAP, some part of the SAP, not only HCM, anyone. So these days people are regularly using this support.sap.com, which is the support portal, to raise any support requests to the SAP that might be with respect to any standard functionalities not working, or if you want any extra support with respect to this cloud applications or on-premise solutions, anything. So support portal will be one that the SuccessFactors consultants will be definitely accessing regularly, guys. The basic reason for these consultants to regularly access this is SuccessFactors being a product with some limitations. So whenever we are doing a project, at some point of the time, definitely we will be facing a situation where the customer comes up with some requirement which is not within the product functionality, and to answer the customer, we definitely have to raise that to the SuccessFactors, and SuccessFactors has to confirm that yes, that is not currently available, and only that reply from SuccessFactors can be projected in front of the customer and we can document that. Okay, so and not only for this, due to other product level support with respect to SuccessFactors, if any features are not working or any synchronizations are not happening, we generally see these kind of little bit technical flaws that happening in the SuccessFactors, where the data upload time will be exceeding the threshold and the files doesn't post properly, or we don't get the results posted back on time, or the synchronization not happening. For these various kinds of things, we generally approach SuccessFactors, and this is the support tool, that the support.com that we use for these various requests that we have to raise. So this is just to give you an idea about what are the various important sites, guys. So later on, some part of the session, at some time of our training duration, I will try to even share these things. So once you are done with your certifications and all, then you will get to know the importance of these websites. So with this, I actually want to come to an halt on the high-level intro things. So let us now get some more interesting parts of the training sessions. That is basically, I want to give you an idea of how the provisioning system of the SuccessFactors looks like. I have told you SuccessFactors system architecture is divided into two parts basically, which is the provisioning system is one that we call as the back end of the system, and the other one is the instance, which is called the front end of the system. So front end is the one that we generally use, that might be the end users, who the customers, the employees of an organization will be generally using, is the instance. And we as a consultant, as a certified consultants, will be given an access to the back end of the systems that are nothing but the provisioning systems of the customers, where we have to do the initial the 20% of the configurations, like the basic things that we have to enable in the SuccessFactors system. Like once you are onboarded to a new project, it's a new provisioning system that has allocated to you. Now the basic things, like once you log into the system, what are the language packs that a customer would like to have in their system, and the various modules. Say if the customer is going with only PMGM and LMS modules in the SF, then the the kind of business functions in SAP, the things, the tools or the functionalities will be related to only those two modules we will be activating in SuccessFactors provisioning, and we'll make sure the rest of the things are deselected. So this way, the basic things, once we get the access, we will be doing in the provisioning. And this is the place where we even actually create an user ID to access the front end instance system. So from provisioning, we can create our own admin ID and start accessing the front end instance with those credentials. So this is just an high level intro, and let me now just take you through the screens of this provisioning system, guys. XMLs are the files which carry the backend coding of the screens that you see on the front end SuccessFactors system. Okay, like it's not the complete UI level, it's just about the structures. Okay, the data structures, the way how the structures are built, how the structures are defined, and basically the structures I mean are the employee level employment objects, like the personal information related, next national ID information, etc., whatever we collect with respect to employee. And at the same time, employee central structures like the job structure, pay structure, job structure, pay structure, org structure, all these things, how they are structured in the system and how they are defined, everything will be coming out of the XML files. Okay, basically all these things are available in the system, in any customer system. You can download those XML files, and the basic work that you will be required to do will be just making some modifications with respect to the changes that the customer will be expecting, like some screen level modifications. That most of the time it will be the screen level modifications with respect to the labels that are displayed, or the ordering of the fields, or making a field mandatory on screen, or making it to non-mandatory on screen, or the data types of the fields, like whether the field which is a text field, they might ask you to convert into a drop-down field. So these kind of basic things that you do, okay, on the XML files.
So for that, do you need to have an understanding of how XML files work? I mean, do you need to know how it works?
Yeah, we actually need not have any expertise on XML. Just we download the standard XMLs, and we just for a couple of hours, if we start analyzing the data, I mean the coding, how it is done in that, just by comparing with the front end. Just have two browsers, Just one side you see the SuccessFactors front-end system, and on the left-hand other page you see the coding. So just keep on comparing the two things. You'll get to know how the coding has been done for this structuring. So whenever new changes come, we just copy and paste the existing code and make the changes. Okay, it's not that you have to have some knowledge on XML coding or anything. Just you have to have a knowledge of copy and paste the content in a specific place instead of playing around with the file and spoiling the complete code. You just have to be cautious while you are working on XML and cut and copy paste whatever you do in structured manner slowly, and you can make the required changes. So going further, I'll even take you to the various XML files that we have both in PMGM and Employee Central end. So you'll definitely gain the confidence during the certification, during this training phase itself. Do not worry. And I'll also give you a recommendation of some tutorials on the YouTube, which give you a basic high-level idea of how the XML files can be when used in the coding point of view. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
So, guys, now my actual intention is to give you first a high-level idea of what provisioning is. What are the various things that we can do in this provisioning? Okay. So whenever we log in into the system, the provisioning system, the consultant, the provisioning will be generally given only to the certified consultants. So once a consultant has logged into the system, whatever are the projects he has been allocated to and whatever are the projects he has been working, all those companies links will be present here. All those companies will be listed here with the company name as an hyperlink. Okay. Now, say in this demo system, I'm just having one company with the name SF Training Company. And if we have to make any settings, or we have to enable something or work on the configuration levels of this company, we just have to click on that company and it takes you internally into the provisioning system of that company. This provisioning system has been very slow right from the morning. I think there are some data center updates going on today being a weekend. Yeah, guys. So once we click on that company link, then it takes you into that particular company level config items. So on the screen, if you see, there are various sections of the configuration places that belongs to various modules of the SuccessFactors. Say here, this is something related to the onboarding and the offboarding module. Next, manage documents is something related to the PMGM and the compensation forms, whatever we have. So generally we have some appraisal forms, right? So here he's referring to the documents, the same forms, the various things related to that. And same way, going down something about the succession management. And the contents here are something not only specific to succession, guys. There are also things that will be shared in the Employee Central as well. These are all the places where we import and export those XML files, which we generally call as the data models. When it comes to Employee Central, the wording that we'll be using is the data model. And going further down, we have the various places where different competencies and the recruitment parts, the files related to the recruitment parts will all be uploaded, and we can do some changes with respect to the configuration at this place. So during our during our training phase, wherever required for what are the applications that we are seeing on the front end, the related and the required settings in the background, what we have to do before we start working on that front end feature, I'll definitely bring you to that place and show you this is a required feature to be activated. So at this point, this is the high level thing that I have to share you. And whenever you log in into the system for the first time and you come into this company level page, you have the first very important link called company settings, guys. So if you go inside this will be a place where we can see the various configurations decisions that we can do here. All the decisions are nothing but to activate or deactivate. So everything, every feature or the tool in SuccessFactors we'll be having one line item here, and whether to use that feature or the tool or the application or the function or whatever we call, we just have to make our decision with this checkbox, select or deselect. So like this, it's not only one thing, we have many things, guys, which are part of various modules of this SuccessFactors. Okay, so various things, everything is just with respect to, is dealt with only a checkbox. You have nothing else to do here. It's everything is to review all the required standard things that the customer is looking for are available or not. If not selected, we have to select. If something is not required, we have to deselect and make sure this initial setup has been done. Yeah, definitely. So whatever modules, if they are going with only PMGM, and in this provisioning, all the other things with respect to the Employee Central, succession, compensation, everything, we should make sure they are deselected. Yeah, it's again the same funda of SAP. It's the audit. It's the audit that goes. So whenever a customer's systems are found with other modules apart from they are licensed, for what modules they have purchased the license, it's again what the implementer has to, or the end customer has to bear when it comes to the audit. It's the same funda the way we have in SAP HCM. So one more important thing, if you see here, we have one thing, the section called language packs. Okay, under language packs, you can here find the various offerings of the SuccessFactors, the various languages in which your SuccessFactor is available, guys. So here, you just have to choose the languages what your customer is wanting to have, in which languages your customer is wanting to implement their product. So there's the various options. So few of them are already selected. So this is a demo system. So here you have to take the decision of selecting and deselecting the required languages. Okay, and like this we have many things. In few more slides I'll even show you the basic 5 to 6 items that you have to make sure when you are onboarded on a fresh project and you have just got a provisioning access. So there are some 5 to 6 important things that you have to take care. Going further, I'll even introduce with all those things. Okay, and after that, now let me give you an high level idea of the provisioning system as well. I've already introduced you with this. This is the login page where we can completely customize this login page. We have a separate topic called theme manager where we can deal with the background colors, this button colors, everything, the logo that is displayed and all. Server might be a little bit slow due to being the weekend, guys. That's just demonstrating system, so that might be a bit slow. In the meanwhile, let me take you to some other steps. Yeah, when it comes to this provisioning, so 4 fundamental things that we have to remember is provisioning is a system that will be given access only to a certified consultant. Okay, it's not even if the customer is spending lakhs or thousands of rupees or the dollars, how much they might be spending. Yes, definitely provisioning system cannot be given to them. It's only the consultant who are certified and working for that project will be given the provisioning access based on some approvals that they take from the customer. So the customer should provide an approval. That mail should be set as an attachment, and we have to raise a request to SuccessFactors so that we will be getting the access to the customer's backend provisioning system through our login. The ID and the password what the SuccessFactor will be sharing is through that we can access. And as I have also showed you, this is the place where we deal with the basic language pack activations and deactivations and various other module level activations and deactivations that we are speaking. And this is also the place where we upload many XML files. So generally in SuccessFactors Employee Central, we have around 5 XML files where we generally work. If it is a single country implementation, we'll be generally using only 3 XML files, and if it's a multinational implementation, we have 2 more XML files called the country specific XML files, which makes a total of 5. So minimum 3 and maximum 5 XML files when it comes to EC. And in PMGM, that completely depends on the number of templates that we'll be creating. That might be for goals, that might be for performance evaluation, 360 evaluations, or any other custom forms that your customer asks. So that again depends there. And for PMGM, it's not mandatory that we should definitely work on XML. most of the options are front-end in the admin center itself. They are available, but for anything still that is required to be customized and not available on the front end, only in that case we go for the XML. 80 to 90% of the things will be achieved on the front end itself in the PMG. So this is a high level about provisioning, and instance you already know. Yeah, definitely, yes. This is a thing what even SuccessFactors is targeting. SuccessFactors wants to remove this process of support. Okay, the basic funda here is SuccessFactors approach is where once the implementation is done, you should have the customer should have one nominated what is it? The nominated admins. Okay, the process owners of that particular modules should be well trained on the admin activities of their independent modules, and they should be handling the system. Apart from this, which can be whatever the changes that we can do on the front end, if something else is required that has a dependency on the back end, then definitely they have to approach SuccessFactors. Instance has got logged in with. Now, as we are already familiar with, most of you at some point of the time might have seen, and I have also shown you in the demo session. This will be the first page that you see when you log into the demo, when you log into the SuccessFactors front-end system. This is nothing but instance. Okay, so this is a home landing page we call. The home landing page we call with the various sections. This complete landing page is definitely customizable by the consultant. Okay, in one of our sessions sometime we'll definitely show you how we can work on the various sections of this home page, all these styles, how we are creating the background images that we have and all. So, and if you see here at the bottom till this my specialty section, these are all the standard sections that are come up with the standard SuccessFactors, and all these square and the rectangle boxes, whatever we see, we generally call them as the tiles. And this home page that we are seeing is a new home page, guys. This is not the old one from last 5 to 6 years. This has just come into the market since last 6 to 8 months ago. This is we generally call it as a SAP Fiori experience theme. So Fiori based homepage we call it. And for our training purpose, I had also created some custom section here just to show the people, all the participants. So here we have multiple options of how we can create these tiles. Okay, that might be static tiles or the dynamic tiles. Okay, dynamic tiles are something like where we can have some this background images and all, where something in this grayed out mode we call it as a static tiles. So the basic thing I'm telling is we have already created some custom tiles to introduce to the participants with the various functionalities that we can have. So let me just give you an idea. So this is one tile with a word called training. Just we have given a heading called training. You click on this, it shows you one type of a tile that we can have some static text or some messages that we can pass on, okay, to the employees in the organization who use this system. So this is one static thing, like where we can also have some kinds of blog posts or the news articles in it. And one more thing, this is the one in the background given some capability of having some videos embedded in it. So if you see here, in a pop-up, it comes up with a YouTube video link, where once I start playing it within this pop-up, this video gets start playing on the system. So this is one, and we have one more option of a tile. Here is the training video. I've just named it as a training video tile. So if you click here, this is one that doesn't open any pop-up, but it directly redirects to the target place, whatever we have given in the backend. See, now this is something where I've given a link to the YouTube page, and it has gone there. Okay, so completely it goes on to the target URL from the SuccessFactors system. So this way we can have multiple tiles, and all these are the tiles we call. So the multiple tiles that we can create with the various options. The same way when we create any new blogs in LinkedIn or sdn.successfactors.com or sap.com, the various features that we have for writing a blog, that might be the text formatting, any images that you have that you can enter, I mean embed, or the videos you have to embed, and everything are also applicable in this home tile configuration, this home page configuration. So in detail, going further, I'll definitely take you through this process of home page configuration, guys. We call it as a manage home page. Okay, so this is a high level about the home page, and we also have some option at the users level and users level to personalize this home page. The changes that they make under this personalized home page are specific to that logged in users itself. So the things that they can do here is, for among all the tiles that are present under each category, say under my info category, or going further under my team category, or wherever, all these are the standard tiles that are allocated by the admin, and only the tiles that are pinned. If you see here, this is the tile that has been pinned, and this is a tile that is unpinned, because it's displayed in white color, and the pinned one is displayed in the blue color. So only the pinned tiles will be displayed on the front end, and whatever tiles that the logged in employee doesn't want to see them regularly, you don't want to have it on the home page, you can just click on this and you can deselect it. So this is just this doesn't have a lot of configuration. It's just one feature that we have to activate at the config level, so that the front end users will be having this option. And we can also have an option like the end users will not be given any access to deselect this. Some tiles will be static. Definitely he should have that on the front end. So how we can control and all the part of the manage homepage configuration that I'll take you through going further. Yeah, this is this personalized homepage is an option given to the end user. I'm just giving you an idea of how an end user can customize his homepage. Okay, but at the consultant level, whatever we can do is we can create a new tile like this, or we can delete these existing tiles, or we are the people who decide whether this tile can be given an option for the end user to select and deselect. If we remove that option, yes, this pin option will not be seen for the front end and the end users at all. Every time that tile will be present on the front end. Okay, so that is a basic
Shiva,
difference.
Another question. Deepti here. I understand that you have to be certified in SuccessFactors to access this, but is there any way one can practice, like what you're showing right now?
Yeah, definitely. We are sharing you. I mean, we are providing you with the access to the system. Okay. In this session, we are just giving you high-level things. Once after two sessions, where you guys will be comfortable with handling the system. By then, I'll be arranging all the credentials for you guys with the URL and ID password through which you can access into the system. And all these things, what I'm showing you, definitely you can do on your own and practice. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Only the things that I am doing on the provisioning you cannot do, because it's just the standard activations and all I do, and some XML file uploads. Only that access will not be given. But the rest, 80% of the part, what we do on the instance, you can completely practice. I'll definitely provide some topic level admin job aids where it has a complete screenshots of where you have to navigate in the system, what to access and all. So going further, you'll definitely have the complete benefit out of it. The thing is, this is the personal homepage is only for the end users, but going further, I'll definitely show you where we as a consultant can configure these things. These are the various modules level screens where definitely when we are dealing with those modules, we can look into them. First, let me take you to the admin center, where this is a place where we work most of the time in our implementations. Most in the sense, it's completely 95% of the time, this is the place where we regularly keep on logging and accessing. Okay, so this is the admin center with all the config level items. Okay, that might be the config level nodes or the admin level transaction items. Okay, as a configurator, whatever are the places that you have to access to maintain the configurations, or as the end user admin, what are the various admin activities that he can do, everything will be under this page. And it has been actually divided into two parts, guys. This first part is the company process and cycles, is the one which contains various config nodes and the transaction items which are segregated into each module level. Say if you want to configure something with respect to the goal management, you will be coming to this area and you will find the required option. If it is performance management, something related. The same way compensation, something related, like this. Okay, and this is the first area with respect to the config items level. When it comes to the second phase, the second part, the manage employees, this is the section where we generally come to add some employees into the system. Okay, for adding a new employee into the system, or exporting the complete list of users that are already existing in the system, or to bulk upload the employees instead of adding each and every employee from the front end. If you want to add bulk employees through an import process, so we use this import employee data, and this place it's only the basic the mini master data that gets uploaded. But if it is an employee central system and we have various informations like job information, pay information, org structure information, etc., we have another place where we get introduced to that in the employee central module sessions. But to create the basic user records and to maintain the basic mini master data and all, we use this option. The same way, once the users are created, if we should definitely have some roles and authorizations concept. Okay, so to assign those roles and authorizations and all, we have this place called set user permissions here, where we can create various groups and roles here in the SuccessFactors system. And this concept of roles and the permissions is basically called as role-based permissions, RBP. We all regularly call it as RBP, which is nothing but an RBP framework. Based on that approach only, the complete SuccessFactors system security and various permissioning will be working on. This is one very important topic we'll be dealing in a regular going forward sessions. And when it comes to the end user admins, okay, like just local admins who generally handle the normal password reset and the user ID resets and all. So this will be the user place where we can access for the password reset and the user ID reset, and just triggering some welcome mails for any new employees coming into the organization and all. So this will be the place. And at the same time, we also have a concept called proxy management. Proxy management is a very important tool when it is basically useful to the consultants, guys. It's not about the end users as well. It's mostly important for we as a consultants, where it will be mostly found it's in the advantage during the testing phase. So the basic concept here is, go to the top, see on the right hand top, wherever you will see the name of the logged in user, if we click here, we get this option called proxy now. So when I click on this, it gives me a pop-up to enter the target user name. Here the functionality is that if I have to access some other's account, say generally if you are doing some ESS MSS testing, you as an employee do some activity, raise a request or something, and the manager has to approve it. So for doing that, we log out of the login, employee login, and we log in into the manager login, do the activity, and again log out there and log in into employee. So instead of this, we have this feature of proxy management, which allows us to, without going out of the SuccessFactors system, from one user account you can access the other user account and do the activities there and come back. So this is the way how the consultants can use this feature. But for the end users, the business users, this process will be useful. This functionality will be useful just as an on behalf feature. So say if there is a person who is on a long leave or leave of absence, and there are some activities to be completed from his basket, from his inbox, then either a nominated the manager of that employee or an admin of the system, they can proxy into that employee's user account and do the activities. Say the way like filling the timesheet on behalf of that user, or approving some basic leave requests on behalf of that user, etc. kind of things can be possible with this proxy management. So for example, just I'm typing the word as LX. So it gives me all the people who are having this name as LX. That might be at the first name level, middle name level, or the last name level, anywhere. So you can just select that person, click on OK. It will take you to that person's login. Now the system will completely behave as if the person called Alex has logged into the system right from the home page. Now the home page that you are seeing currently is of the user called Alex. If you see here on the right hand top corner, it says that Mr. Trainer on behalf of Alex. Actually, proxy management feature can be used as a delegation tool. The way how we can do that, we will definitely introduce you in the proxy management topic. Generally, when it comes to delegate, it's not that the complete access of the account should not be given. Only some part, where some approvals part or some request part, something, only that area we will be giving the access. But that target user should not see our personal information, compensation information and all. So the way how we control these sections, the permissions in this proxy management, we'll cover under that topic called proxy management. This is about the proxy, guys. And once we are done with the activities that we have to do at the target and the target user level, we can again come back to our account by just clicking on Become Self. So when I click on Become Self, it brings back me to my own account called the trainer. In the admin center, I have a couple of things more to show you. Yeah, in the admin center, we also have one more section here called the upgrade center. This in the demo sessions, we had been admins telling you that SuccessFactors has a process like it comes up with quarterly updates. Every 3 months, there are some updates. Sometimes it will be the minor updates with respect to the UI level, some cosmetic things, and sometimes there will be major updates like the functionality level, a new application or the new process coming up. So all that can be monitored under this area called Upgrade Center. So when you click on the Upgrade Center, it shows you the various categories of the updates that have come into the system. Okay, it actually divides it into 3 levels: very important categories, some recommended categories, and the optional upgrades. Important upgrades, recommended upgrades, and the optional upgrades. So here initially it clubs up all the upgrades from all the modules, and if you particularly want to see the modules of any one particular module, recruitment, DC, EC payroll, or PMGM or anything, based on the list that are present here, we can filter and see those upgrades. And if you want to really make some upgrade, you just have to click on Learn More and Upgrade Now, and you go inside. It gives you first some description about what actually this upgrade is, what will be the changes that will be reflecting on the system, okay, and some prerequisites that should be present. So some please note, and in some of the updates, it also gives you the prerequisites like before doing this, if you have to do something else. So that and all these things, it will be highlighting you here, and you also have an option of clicking on Upgrade Now, where system will automatically get that feature enabled on your instance. So whenever you do some new upgrade, it's just like you give at least 2 to 3 minutes of time, log out of the system and log in back to see those upgrades reflecting on your system. You just click on Update Now, and whatever are the settings that are required to be done will be taken by the system itself, and the system activates that feature onto the front end. All the upgrades or the updates, whatever you receive quarterly, are completely free of cost. Okay, customer will not be charged with any extra cost for these upgrades. And actually, these upgrades comes in 2 types. We have 2 types of upgrades. One type of are called the universal upgrades, and the second one are the admin opt upgrades. Universal upgrades are those which doesn't even ask you, ask the admins whether this has to be applied on the system or not. They automatically get applied, like the theme level, the UI level, and all. So that the UI, the universal admin, universal upgrades, which automatically get applied, and some admin opt upgrades are those that are actually listed here, where if the particular admin of that company feels that yes, this will be something useful in our organization, then they can analyze what actually it is and they can upgrade manually. Clear guys? Two types. One is the universal and the other is the admin opt. Universal gets automatically applied and admin opt will be the one that is listed here, the various listed here. We just have to manually go inside, see what actually this upgrade is, and if you are okay with that, we can click on upgrade now. Once you are done with the upgrades, here we have a section called view recently completed upgrades. So once you upgrade the item, this item will be removed from here and that gets added into this category. When you click on this hyperlink, it takes you to that place where you can see the various upgrades that are done on the system. And one good to have feature here is that every upgrade, whatever you do, comes up with an option of an undo option till 30 days. You see here the message that is displayed, undo action is not allowed more than 30 days after the upgrade. Hence, this is an upgrade, some upgrade with respect to the gender values, which has been done on December 16th of 2016, which has been almost 7-8 months. So this undo button is disabled for me. This is not giving me any hyperlink. But if there are any changes that have been, upgrades done just 1 month back, within the 30 days, the admin will have an option of undoing the changes if the end users who are actually using the system, if they feel that no, this is something confusing or we don't want this feature and all, based on the feedback, the admin can again roll back the changes. But definitely it's only 30 days guys. We have to educate the customer saying that they have to take care of this undoing maximum within 30 days. After that, you cannot get the changes back. The basic thing here, whenever we click on that upgrade button, the change that happens to the system is, in the provisioning system, the feature related to that gets activated. The checkbox related to that feature gets activated. Because once the implementation partner leaves the organization, and they don't have provisioning access, this feature has come onto the front end, where by clicking on upgrade in the provisioning system, backend the system will take care to activate that feature. So if we want to undo, when we click on undo in the provisioning system, that checkbox will be deselected. And if this 30 days is crossed, you can raise it to the SuccessFactors and they can do that by logging into the provisioning system on your behalf. So that is all about the upgrade center. Don't think this is something something at advanced level. It's just the simple thing that the backend checkbox gets activated to the front end action of clicking on upgrade. It's not something supernatural happening on your system. It's just a simple thing, because the customer don't have the provisioning access. The system there's a background process set up between the instance and the provisioning. We have one more section here called the favorites. So favorites is a place. You see here we have many config items. Okay, so instead if there is a PMGM admin who regularly has to launch the forms, delete the forms, etc., if that is his activity, then instead of every time going to these nodes and all, he can select the favorites. See if I see the star against every transaction that I have, I can have this option of selecting as a star. So whatever I select this star will be added as a bookmark and present will be added under this favorite section. So if you see here under my favorites at the bottom, the transaction that I've added rating scales has come up. And if I don't want to remove it as a favorite, I just have to deselect here and it's removed from this list. So this is one good to have feature with respect to the admin favorites. This is a section that fills up with that, and the option is nothing but this star icon against each transaction name. So these are the basic 4 parts of the admin center guys. The company process and cycles, which contains the config nodes. The second place, the manage employees, where we can hire employees, upload employee data, export employee data, deal with the permissions and all, and also the place for password resets, welcome mail triggering, proxy management, etc. And the third part is the upgrade center part, which will be generally accessed only by the admins, and next is the favorites. Can be used normally by anyone. I mean, who actually has the access of the admin center? Obviously, end users will not have this admin center access. They only have till these reports. This admin center will not be given to the end users. So this is all about the admin center. So any questions here, friends? We just had a high-level overview on the provisioning system, what all the things that we can do there, and we have come to the front-end instance, and I've been showing you the navigation, the home page, admin center, upgrade center, etc. So this is all about the admin center. And next we have something called org chart, guys. Let me also show you this. So based on the employee hierarchy, the employee data that has been uploaded into the system. So this org chart is a feature that will be we just have to activate it, and this will be automatically creating the employee hierarchy. See, the current user logged in is Mr. Trainer, and he's having 2 subordinates, and it shows up here. And when I click on one level up, it also shows who is the manager for me. It's the trainer manager. So this way, based on the employee data, the various linkages that you have made between the employees, this will be generated. So not only for the logged in user, if you want to see the org chart level of any particular employee in the organization, so I'm just searching for the same employee called Alex that we previously used. Yeah, we can also have the matrix reporting maintained in SuccessFactors. Okay, you mean to say the direct, instead of the direct hardline reporting, we can also have the dotted reporting. That's what, right? Yeah, we can definitely have the dotted reporting as well in the SuccessFactors. So when I'm showing you how to create the new employees and how we can maintain the data, the relationships between employee and manager, I'll even show you how we can have a dotted manager relationship maintained. So this is all about how an org chart will be looking like, and it's not about only your position. You can also just search with the employee name, and you can see where that employee is in the company's org structure. So every time it defaults with one level. So under you, under the person for whom you are searching, the direct subordinates, and when you click on one level up, it takes you to the reporting manager, and this time it fills with the team, the peers of this guy. Alex, they are the peers. And now it's Adira is the manager. When I go one more level up, it again brings her team, and she is reporting to Mr. Mohan Kumar. So this way, we have the org structure, which will be automatically generated based on the data that we upload. And one more important standard feature is the directory, guys. This is the one just as a in our standard employee portal, like the who is who tool. We can have this standard thing with various search options. We can find it for search for the people in the organization. So just I'm saying as Alex, and just click on search. All the people with the first name as Alex will be listed here. Okay, and we also have a various sorts of filters on major of the objects like department, division, location. You have the filters, complete set of filters here. Okay, this is also a standard plug and play feature that we can introduce to the customers, and we can have it. And yes, we can also have an options of controlling the filter options that are present here. If the customer don't want to have few of the filter options, and if they want to add any other things, then we have some place where we can also work on these filter options. And resources is one more thing. Yeah, resources is one more area, guys, where we can have some hyperlinks that can be maintained with some external websites, or we can have some data content that can be added here. That might be any company policies or attachments, URLs to, or the links to the attachments or the various application forms that are present in other company servers like SharePoint servers or other thing. So we can have them present here. So now if I click on this training, which I have already created, I use this, it takes me the backend URL. I've given it as a google.com. Okay, just in the same way, if you have some Google Drive links to any documents or any applications in your organization, that might be SharePoint links or anything, you can have them present, make them present here. And the organizations also use this area to have some company policies maintained, so dress code policies, foreign travel policy, etc., with a paragraph of sentences along with a hyperlink to the policy document, etc. So all these things we can use under the resources. So this is a place where we can have an edit icon and we can start creating our own things. Okay, you can upload some photographs or the hyperlinks you can give, and a lot of paragraph text you can have. The same way how we have the blogging features, we have this, except the video. You can't have a video attached, but the rest of the things can be utilized. So this is all about the resources. So with this, I just want to come to an end of giving an overview of the SuccessFactors, guys, the front-end instance. So going further anyways, while we are working on the actual parts, the various things, we will definitely get to know the various aspects that we have in the SuccessFactors front-end. Okay, till now it's just an intention of giving you a high-level idea and hands-on experience. So once we give you the the instance access for practice and all, by the next week we'll definitely be providing you, so that you guys also will be having the required knowledge of how to handle the system and all. So then you can definitely navigate in the system, you can explore your system. So now you have got an idea, and as a new consultant, if you are onboarded on a project right from that first step, okay, right from that first step, let me give you an idea. So once you are certified, you are allocated to a project, and you have to work on the very first thing is to work on the provisioning system of the customer system, definitely. Okay, so how can we get the provisioning access? Okay, so I've shown you, I've logged into the provisioning system and I've shown you, but how can I get the access? What is the URL? What are the ID passwords? Who will give those things to us? All those things are nothing but some steps that we have in gaining the provisioning access, guys. Okay, so generally every customer who has got the SuccessFactors product purchased, they will be given one ID called the customer ID. Okay, and this customer ID is one that should be used to raise a request for the provisioning system of the customer. We have to say that this is the customer's system ID. Please provide me an access to the backend system of this customer, which is nothing but the provisioning system of the customer. Okay, with that, we have to also attach an approval mail from the customer. We have to ask them to provide an approval mail to send it to the SuccessFactors team, so that they can attach my login ID with your provisioning system. So that is the main content. We generally don't have any specific format of mail body, just a simple text discussion, and you just have to get the approved mail and attach and raise a request to the SuccessFactors in a site called hcmcloudops.successfactors.com. Okay, in this website called hcmcloudops.successfactors.com, we raise a request mentioning the company ID, attaching the approval mail from the customer, and mentioning your official email ID, your company email ID. The official email ID will be the ID which acts as the ID for accessing the provisioning systems. Okay, so once you raise the request, guys, now within 5 days you will first get an confirmation mail that your request has been considered, and you have to wait for 5 days for the confirmation. And within 5 days, sometimes it takes just only 1 day, or sometimes maximum 5 days it will be taken, and you will be this time getting a confirmation mail with the password and the URL for that provisioning system. Okay, so through which URL you have to access. So what is the ID is anyways your company official email ID of your company, and the password that you have to use to log in into provisioning. So with those details, you can log in into the system. So before that, you just have to be aware of one more thing, guys. If you see the pictorial representation now here on the screen, generally, as I've told you, we have many data centers across the globe, like around 12 data centers currently that the SuccessFactors is having. Okay, we have a total of 12 data centers, and every time, say if you are a customer on which you are working, is having his server on the data center 10. They are allocated with data center number 10. And one more customer of you, in which project you are working, they might be having the data center number 2. Okay, so the gaining provisioning access is nothing but gaining an access to this data center. Okay, say if your customer is in data center number 10, the access that you will be given is nothing but an access into this provisioning, into this data center. And if a new customer whose server is located in other data center, you again have to raise a request, and you will get one more new set of new URL and new ID and the password credentials to access the customer's provisioning system present in this data center. So this way, so whenever you have a new customer with a new data center, definitely you will be getting a new URL and the password to access. But for the second time, if you again have a new customer in the same data center, this time it's only that you have to raise the request to map the customer provisioning system in data center number 10 with your provisioning ID, which is nothing but your email ID. But it's not that they again provide you a new URL or the password. The already existing URL, ID, password can be used, but this time when you log in, once the mapping is done, the second customer provisioning system present in this data center will also be linked with your provisioning account. So if you are working on 3 projects or 4 projects, that different 4 company hyperlinks will be shown. So these are just the samples of the data centers we regularly see, guys. Generally data center number 2 for the APAC region, 10 for the APAC region, 2 for the Middle East region, DC5 mostly given for the American project, the Latin American area, and DC8 is a data center which mostly contains the demonstration systems. Even the current system that I am using for this training session is a demonstration system, which is in the data center number 8. So this is what. Oh, sorry. PS consultant is nothing but an abbreviated form of professional services consultant. Generally, SuccessFactors consultants in the market will be referred as professional services consultants.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So whenever we are onboarded a new project, this is the process we have to get the approval mail and ask what is the customer ID given by SAP for this project. Along with both the things, raise a request in this website, and within 5 days you'll be getting the ID and password generated by the SuccessFactors system. You'll be getting the mail details, and with those you will be logging into the provisioning. And once you log into the provisioning, as I've shown you previously how we log in and go inside, once you are into the system, these will be the first basic 6 things that you have to definitely do. Okay, if you have to make your systems established, set up, the basic things set up, these are the initial first 5 to 6 things that you have to definitely do. That are the language packs in which you want the product to be implemented, and we have to activate one feature called Profile V12, which is the place where the various parts of the employee data will be generally shown, guys. I missed to show this in the front end. I'll just show you that as well. And as I've told you, the complete roles and authorizations, the permissions model is based on a concept called RBP framework, role-based permissions. This is one more thing that has to be activated, the RBP, activate RBP, as in the point number 3. Okay, and after that, we have one more section related to the storage limit. I'll even show you all these on the screen, just I'm giving you an idea. So one more thing that we have to remember is the storage limit, guys. So this storage limit is only with respect to any documents or the attachments that we make on the SuccessFactors system. This doesn't include the data storage, the config data, master data, the transaction data. This doesn't bother. That might be any GBs or terabytes of data. So we don't have a limit on the cloud. But when it comes to the attachments or the files we upload on the system, yes, SuccessFactors has set a limit of around 1000 GB currently. Default, it will be set as only 1 GB. So we as a consultants, when we are setting up the initial settings, we have to make sure we increase it from 1 GB to a maximum possible of 1000 GB, which comes with a drop down. And after these 4 settings are done, then we have to create an admin user to access the front-end system. The only credentials that you will be receiving from the SuccessFactor end are only the ID, password, and the URL of provisioning. But to enter into the front-end instance of the customer, we have to generate our own user ID from the provisioning system. So that being the very first user created, and from that the various other activities we will be doing, we call it as an admin user, and I'll even show you where we create this in the provisioning. So once all these are done, yes, the next parts are nothing but module level configurations. What modules you have to activate, what modules you have to deactivate. Within the module, what are the various applications and the functionalities you have to activate, all those you have to deal at the last. So these are the very basic important things whenever you access the provisioning for the first time, guys. These will be very much helpful to you when you start appearing for any interviews. Okay, though this is not something questioned you anywhere in the certification, but to differentiate a consultant who is with a real-time experience and a consultant who just got certified and trying to get into the job with just some fake experience and all, these will be some basic things that you have to know. How you have to get the acquire the provisioning access. Once you acquire it, what are the basic things you have to do, all these things. So I'll even share you this these 3 slides, guys. What are the initial steps for provisioning, and basically what is the process of raising the provisioning account request. So this will be very useful when you are going for any interviews, basically, not even certification, for interviews. Let me show you all these things in the provisioning, all those 5 items, whatever we have discussed here. Any questions from friends, like with respect to whatever topics that we have just been seeing now? Initially, not to confuse you, I say this based on the area where the project, the customer belongs to. This is the data center and all. But there is one more thing. It's not only where the project is going to happen. It actually depends on at which location the project deal has been done. Say SAP has its sales team in India, in Middle East. It also has a sales team in US and all. And if there is a multinational organization who have offices across the globe, and the actual deal of purchasing the SuccessFactors product, the payments, everything were done in the Middle East region with the Middle East sales guys, then it will be given the data center number 2, which is in Amsterdam. Though they have offices in US and India, Japan, Russia, anywhere. Because the agreement and the sales deal has been closed in the Middle East region, the data center will be assigned here. In the same way, if it is done in the India or Australia somewhere in the APAC region, it will be allocated with data center number 10 in the Sydney. 90% of the cases, that's the same thing we have been seeing in various implementations of the various projects that we have been part of. I have been working for the Middle East projects, APAC projects, and the American projects. So based on the projects that I have been working, these are the commonly used data centers. Oh. In some instances, for the US projects, not only data center number 5, I also saw data center number 4 as well. So we actually need not be specific to this. Definitely, whenever we are allocated to the project, the company ID and the data center in which the server has been hosted, these details will be definitely shared from our PMO, the project management teams. Accordingly, with those details, we will be raising the provisioning requests and all.
Okay, thanks, Shiva.
Yeah. So yes, say we have got the provisioning access to this company called SF Training Company for the first time. The things that the consultant will be doing for initially are going to this, and in the very first one called the company settings, we need not go somewhere else in the bottom of the screen. The very first one called company settings, just go inside this, and here, just as per the list of the contents that I have been telling you, all these 5 things are to be taken care, right from the language packs, profile, RBP. So language packs you'll definitely find at the initial part itself. Just scrolling a little bit, we have this language packs. So here we just have to select, deselect the various languages. whatever we require and make the choice. And after that, we have something called profile. But the recommendation I give you here is, because this page has a lot of things, you cannot keep on scrolling and finding. You just have to do a Control F. Okay. Anyways, all these things will be even present in various documents that SuccessFactors provides and all. So even there you will find these are the basic things. So automatically you just have to come with Control F and you have to find the place where you actually have to activate it. So in the initial days it will be just a typical thing like this. We just have to keep on scrolling. If you actually know the current one, I mean the specific one, we can directly search. 1 second. Yeah, so if you see this is the one that I'm searching, which is the profile V12. So V12 is nothing but the version 12 of the UI. So when SuccessFactors has been actually acquired by SAP, it is in version 10, and there are various improvements on the UI level, and it's currently present on V12. So we have to make sure this has been activated. And one thing, guys, out of these 5 to 6 things that I'm telling, almost every time 3 to 4 of the options will definitely be selected, will be by default selected and coming to you, but it's mandatory that you have to ensure whether these are selected or not and go ahead. So you need not worry, every time most of the things will be selected, like the profile V12 is selected in the same way related to RBP, the role-based permissions. We have something with respect to the role-based permissions, guys. Let me search from the top. Yeah, here we have it. Role-based permissions. This is one that is also automatically selected here, but yes, you have to make sure definitely that this is selected. But for the previous customers who are the native legacy SuccessFactors customers before SAP has acquired and all, they did not have this feature of RBP. They have been working on with a concept called administrative domains. Okay, this concept has been overridden with this RBP concept. So whenever if we activate this, the previous one will be deactivated. Okay, so this is easy to use and very understandable by the end users and the customer. So SuccessFactors recommends this RBP concept. So this is one. And after this is with respect to the storage limit, guys. So here is the area where we have to deal with the attachment sizes. As I've told you, it's only with respect to the document sizes and attachments that you upload in the system. So this is the document attachment where it is default set to the total of 1 GB, and we can have a maximum of 1000 GB where we can expand this. So every time we recommend to come here, set it to the highest value and save it. So you have a nearby save here. We just have to save this. And at this point, it's only this thing you have to concentrate. The rest, the other things are like at the attachment level, the same way as we have in the mailbox, user limit of the attachments and the maximum file size and all. So this can be optional, and most of the time this will not be altered. Whatever SuccessFactors recommended, we don't change this. Only this thing we will be changing.
So this document attachment storage limit, who are we setting this up for? For us or for the users?
For the users, the complete set of population who uses this application.
Okay.
Yeah. And after this is the admin creation, the admin account creation. Here we have a place where we can give the username, the password, first name, last name, and the email ID is, and then we just have to, when we just fill these details, we can click on the create admin, and yes, we can create one admin user ID for accessing the front end. If you see here on the front end, whenever I'm logging in with an account called trainer. Okay, with a username called trainer in the front end. So this is an account which I actually generated from the provisioning system. the initial account. Once we have this initial account, the various other user accounts that we can have in the system can be done directly in the instance. But for the initial, the very first login account to access this will be coming from this backend. In the provisioning, we give whatever the required username, password, first name, last name, email ID, and we click on create ribbon. So with this username and password, we can log in into the front-end system, and then there we start activating various features there and uploading some various test users or the actual employee data, the master data, various configurations, etc. in the front end. So as I've told you, these are the basic 5 very important things that any consultant who has got the provisioning access for the first time should be doing, guys. So once you do this, yes, with the 5th step, with the whatever user ID you have created, you can come to the front end instance, log in and go ahead. And the module specific things, yes, either you do immediately then itself or after some time you do. Whenever you want to start the configurations of that module, we can activate that module specific things. So this is all about how we handle the SuccessFactors provisioning and the instance systems, how we can navigate in both the systems, the various areas where we as consultants will be required to work at both the ends, and the way how we actually have to get the access to a new provisioning system whenever you are allocated to a project for the first time. So this is a complete overview that I actually targeted to take you through this session, guys, and I am almost done with it. So does anyone have any questions here? Any clarifications that you need on this process? Any gap in understanding? The basic thing is that the the severity or the scale of configurations or the customizations that you have to configure and implement in SAP HCM is definitely a bit complex or critical when it compares to SuccessFactors. SuccessFactors, it's not more about configuring. It's a tool with almost the pre-packaged solution. Okay, you can't have a different process for one customer or the other customer. When it comes to, say, example of a PMGM, the complete process of how you have the goal setting tool, how you have the performance evaluation tool, calibration, the templates that you can have, all are the standard things. You customize it according to the customer's requirement. You customize, you build their requirements and you implement it. Okay, it's not more about configuring, it's about just customizing the standard prepackaged thing and deploying it. So definitely when it comes to SuccessFactors, it will be a lot easy to the consultants to work and get the things implemented. So that is the basic reason why the implementation time of the SuccessFactors projects are very less when compared to the legacy HCM. It's definitely just a 50% of the time that we spend on SAP HCM implementation. Sometimes there are also, you can say it only 30% of time, where people just deploy the complete SuccessFactors suite within 3 to 4 months and they are announcing the go live. Yeah, in SAP HCM, it has all the things like where you have to import and where you have to create the companies, where you have to configure the PMS templates, everything. It's all the tools that are ready, but you have to create and configure and test and everything. But here, it also comes up with some standard offerings with respect to the performance templates or the goal templates and all, and even the content with respect to the standard goals, competencies and all, they're already there. We can customize them by making use of the standard things, or if it's a huge change, we can completely come up with the custom approach of the concept that the customer is expecting. So definitely, I can't. Verbally, I might not be able to express you, but yes, going further, you will definitely see how the ease in using the system. It doesn't make you feel that you are working on a high level configurations. It's just the way how you are working on any other application or a website. You'll see that ease in using the system and configuring it. Nothing, no case studies. It's completely 80 multiple choice questions that you get. 80 multiple choice questions in any module, and it doesn't even have any negative marking kind of thing. Okay. most of the questions will be with only one single answer. Few questions with 2 or 3 answers, and they'll also mention you as a note. This question has 2 correct answers. This question has 3 correct answers with that hint as well, so that you can easily make sure that you check all the allocated answers. So it doesn't have any descriptive or any case studies kind of things. Many of the the participants who have got trained from me, because they being the people who are already working, they are busy with their life, they cannot regularly practice and all. But yes, they concentrate on the sessions, and once done with the sessions, they prepared the various documentations, and with that bookish knowledge, they applied for the certification, and they are even qualified the exams. But when it comes to the project, yes, they again start referring to the documents. They take the help of the colleagues. They are sometimes call me and get the things done. Yes, definitely. With a little bit of hands-on experience also, you can definitely clear the exam. It's definitely not a rocket science, guys. Don't get panicked towards the certification exam. And even with respect to the XML files and all, do not bring that things into your mind. It's not at all a rocket science. It's the basic flavor of just copy paste the existing thing. Just understand what is standard coding thing at present. If you have to add some extra custom fields or anything, just copy paste the standard thing and do. And most of the times, the requirement that you will be getting to work on XML is just to change the settings. Say if there is an attribute, say true or false, on and off, change the label, placement of the positions of the fields on the screen, all these kinds of things. I'll even take you through the various exercises that we can do on XML. You'll definitely gain the confidence. Yeah, guys. The basic intention of this is just to give you a complete overview and the idea of the complete solution that as a configuration consultants, what you have to be ready with before we enter into the configurations. So this is the complete agenda. Yes, and we are successful in achieving this, whatever we have targeted today.